All right, so we are live. Hello, everybody. This is Chris Alicia coming to you live from Virginia for Intentionality, Unraveling the Secrets of the Universe. Now, my show is all about intentionality, and this is a term that Spirit gave to me during a meditation a couple months back to show the divine nature of everything. Everything has a pattern, everything has a reason. And the more we look for it, the more we understand. And the more we understand, the more we can speak to the universe. So that is what this show is all about, is bringing that message of divine intention to the world. And I have a wonderful, wonderful guest here with me today, Kim Tebbutt. She is a teacher. She does angel, water blessings, and divine love on Sundays. Now, we've been talking about water for a couple episodes on the show, talking about how it's this immortal element of power and truly a key tool for light workers to use to help manifest love and light in our bodies, love and light on the planet, and raise the vibration of everything. So Kim has been doing water blessings on her island for 6 years, and she does them every month, I believe. And I've heard some of her work, and I knew when I started teaching on Awake TV that I was going to do episodes on water, and I had to have her on here to do a water blessing. So Kim, thank you so much for being with me tonight. I'm so excited to hear what we come up with. Please introduce yourself to the crew.
Great. First of all, thank you so much for having me, Chris. It's such an honor to meet you and to listen to your shows and your brilliance and your passion. It's a true delight. I'm really blessed that you invited me. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
hello, everyone. I've been a water blesser, as Chris said, for 6 years. How I got started, a dear friend of mine, Samaya, who's living in New Zealand now, came to me with an invitation that was on Facebook from a lady named Little Keisha. And she is an assistant to the 13 indigenous grandmothers that travel the world and bring goodness to our world. They've met with the Dalai Lama and the Pope and different people to just bring awareness. So Little Keisha had actually gone to the reactor site in Japan and asked the scientists to take blessed crystals and put them in the radioactivity to see if it changed the frequency of the radiation. And it did, which is...
I love that.
Yes. So she put a call out to the world to say, please do water blessings and send us blessed crystals. So Samaya brought this to me and she said, Kim, this feels like it's yours. Would you like to do this? And I said, sure. I had done some earth blessings in another, where I used to live, and I was ready to do it again. So I said, okay, would you do it with me? Yeah, she was very keen to do it with me. So we were sitting in the living room and I said, what day should we do it? She said, 11's my favorite number. I said, okay, let's do it on the 11th of every month at noon. So we had our first blessing December the 11th, which we just celebrated our 6 years a few weeks ago. And we sent 87 blessed crystals to Japan, which was really, really moving and profound to align with the planet that way. And within a few weeks, there was a picture of little Keisha on Facebook in a huge warehouse with boxes up to the ceiling all around her. And she's sitting there and she says, no more crystals to Japan. But of course, she said, please continue. So we did. And what was profound, and you're going to love this, Chris, what was profound was 3 months later, we found out that Dr. Emoto had put a call out to the world to host water blessings on the 11th of every month at noon.
Oh, I love his work. I've read his books, just stunning stuff. And I'd heard this story. I actually watched, I've been keeping up with your episodes, and I'd heard this story. And the first thing that popped into my head was, we need to do this, not just with the reactor in Japan, but you think about all of the travel that a lot of spiritual teachers do. If you were to take a crystal with you every time you travel, and it's blessed with this light and love, and you just lay it in whatever waters that you see across the world. Oh, I love that idea. I'm totally going to implement that.
Great.
My problem will be letting go of the crystals. I am obsessed with crystals. They're everywhere. But I love this idea.
Oh, yes, thank you. It is powerful. I've got one right here, actually. And this was I started Water Blessings on Facebook on my own personal page in the summer. And I picked up this one to start, and I was going to take it to the water. And it said, no, it wanted to stay here beside I have a huge rose quartz honed in a shape of a heart on my table here. And so it sits with her. And then and literally this, when we bless a crystal, the energy stays in there. So all the blessings, if you do have a crystal at home, all the blessings and all your love goes in the crystal. And then wherever you put it, in the water or put it in the earth, Mother Gaia, it literally sends out love everywhere because they communicate. All our phones, everything has a shard of crystal in it to make it work, which is profound. So yeah, so that's that. I actually keep little crystals in my purse so that I can go out and I can grab one and do that. And I live on an island. So to get off this island, we have a 3-hour beautiful cruise really to the mainland, or little half-hour visits to the cruises to the other larger island beside me. So, and a lot of us do that actually here. A lot of us keep crystals and bless them and put them in. So that's a beautiful invitation, Chris, for us all to do that wherever we are.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And anybody who's watching or catches this later, if that's something you'd be interested in doing, sending a blessed crystal to the Awake TV teachers or any teachers, anybody that travels. I've traveled to maybe 6 different countries this year and multiple states in the US. And I bring crystals with me to activate in the locations. So I went to Machu Picchu and Easter Island in September. And in both of those, I washed them in the local waters. And they have a water running down in Machu Picchu coming from the mountain, which is just stunning. So I activate them using the water of that location just to bring that back with me. But I've got crystals everywhere. So I love that idea. And I'm definitely gonna have to see what we can implement about that.
Beautiful.
Because it really is the connection of all. It runs through everything. It's the only thing that connects the entire planet.
Mm-hmm.
Just that idea of being able to tap into that power and the speed of which it can communicate with itself. It's really endless, the possibilities of what you can do with it.
Exactly. And the power of the healing. Imagine, literally knowing that a little crystal, just one little crystal in the radioactivity of that, you would maybe be able to explain that better, shifted that. It shifted it, it healed it. And that, if that's how simple we're getting to a place in our evolution, in our awakening, that we're starting to realize that's how simple it will be to heal this beautiful world, to bring love. It's that simple. We're really reaching critical mass on so many aspects of humanity that need to be healed. And I believe we will reach it in that way too one day. And you and I talking about this is just literally you and I sharing this hour together is sparking this seed being planted in all hearts. Whether we're just sending that prayer out right now to everything, to just imagine the beauty of knowing that that's how quick we can change our whole world. So
absolutely. Yeah. And I did a lot of research for the 2 episodes that I did on water, looking at some of the scientific elements behind water having a memory. And actually its molecular structure changes and you can encode it with information and it will hold on to that, to the point where they put water in with antibiotics and they diluted the antibiotics so much that eventually the chemistry was just water, but the water retained the makeup of the antibiotic. It remembered. So it's that same idea with love. And that's what Dr. Emoto is just so wonderful about, was showing how powerful love was as a reactor, causing these chemical reactions inside water. Anybody who claims that our thoughts don't have power should really look at those books, because that's just very hard to deny. Very, very hard to deny.
Very humbling too. And when those books came out years ago, when they came out, I actually bought them and took them to my children's teachers say, please read this. Be conscious of your thoughts.
Yeah.
We have such an opportunity to really brain train to create a beautiful, beautiful love within our brain. And his work, I was waiting for years to see spirituality and science come together. And to me, for me, resonated in that way. And it moved me beyond words to see the beauty that he brought to us. And as you and I both, that's one of we resonate with his work so deeply, and we're so grateful. And his message is profound. And for those of you that don't know him, please look him up. He's actually an angel in heaven. He actually died, I believe, 2 years ago on November the 11th, on the day that he had asked for water blessings.
Did he? I didn't realize that.
It was one of the 11th, and I believe it was November, but it was so profound. And he figured it out, and that's beautiful. Have you shared the little story about him finding a lake in Japan yet with your viewers?
Was this the lake that they prayed over?
It was.
I don't know. Please share the story for if we have any new viewers.
Okay, I'll share it quick. Dr. Emoto found a lake in Japan that had been damaged by Hiroshima, and it had no life in it. They had tested it and there was no life. So he took his mobile science lab to the side of the lake, and he had, there were scientists that didn't believe him, so he always wanted them to come and join him. And he had other scientists there with him, and they took water out of the lake and locked it in the science lab. And then he sent 30 energy workers around this small lake. And for 30 minutes, they concentrated their love, or I believe energy work, like Reiki, quantum healing. It's just pure love. They poured their love into this lake. And at the end of 30 minutes, they came back, and the scientists went down and took some more water, opened up the science lab, put it all on a microscope, both before and after, and there was life. There was life in that lake with just 30 minutes of concentrated love.
Just incredible.
I know.
And it's such a simple thing to do. And you think about how big spirituality is getting and how many people are really waking up at this time. 30 minutes, 30 people. You could do that. Get some friends. Do a meetup.com.
Yeah, I look at it, 1 billion people.
Yeah.
For a day. Oh my gosh, for an hour.
How many people would it take to clean the Atlantic?
Exactly.
Of all the trash and the pollution that we've put in there. It's hard for people to make that leap. You talk about it so simply. We bless our water. Great. Okay. Well, bless the air and the water particles in the air so that every time you breathe in, you're getting a blessing. Yeah. It magnifies so quickly if you're willing to go there with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And these are the expansive days of just expanding and knowing that exponentially that anything is possible now. Anything. And as we start to feel that stronger in ourselves and we reach critical mass on that perspective, boom. I feel that's what's going to happen. We're going to start healing this world in ways that are so simple and yet so profound.
Absolutely.
As we just trust that inside of ourselves. So yeah, I'm excited. I have to say I'm excited.
That's what it really appealed to me so much about Awake TV, was bringing that massive power together. All of us have our specialties, our little piece of the puzzle, and the intention of spreading love. So you take that, and we're just doing the live shows now, but start doing online conferences, live conferences where you're bringing people from all over the world. We're in 40 countries virtually. Well, what can we do when we start meeting in person and we have conferences going on at the same time in different countries?
Oh boy.
It makes me like my heart's racing a little bit right now because it's such a massive untapped resource and human intention. It really, really is.
Yes.
And then you combine that with water, which is the basis of all life.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And we had a giant fog storm come through, or just a fog come through the other day, and we have cameras on the outside of our house. And my husband was trying to look at the deer or something on the camera. I don't know. He likes to watch our yard. Totally different story. But with the fog going by the cameras, it looked like rain was coming up from the ground. And I had him freeze it. And I always talk about the water that's in the air at any given point, but it was such a perfect image of it. I wish I'd captured of it. It looked like it was just raining from all directions. There's just little fog particles filled with water.
Yes.
You just have to take a second and just say, "Oh, bless you."
Mm.
And just every particle, everywhere that water goes, has now got that resonance of love in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, just
It's
incredible.
pure magic. I live in a rainforest here up in BC, and we have, a lot of rain, and we need it because we have huge forests, and they're thirsty, and we are not getting as much rain and that we need to last through the summer. Some of our trees are not making it, but like you say, it's absolutely divine to step outside during the rain, and you feel like the skin, you just feel so, it's moist and it's soft, and it's so beautiful. And the fog, like you mentioned, and the steam that comes off if it's been hot, and it gets cool quick, and the steam that rises. And I love this, this perspective that, we live in this, I call it like a biosphere, that there's like a ring around the world, and everything is contained within that. And I'm not the scientist to be able to explain that in a different way, but our moisture, our breath, a whale's breath, every single animal, all humans, the trees, everything breathes. So we're actually breathing each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, is one of the most intimate acts I've ever imagined. And it's from the beginning of time. This water is contained. So all the oceans and the lakes and the rivers and the streams, we're breathing them. I just get really excited about thinking of that. Like a whale, we have beautiful whales on with the oceans here, and their spouts, they and all this water comes up, and that moisture is going into the air. And the elephants, all you're traveling, all of these different beings, we're all breathing each other. That's incredible.
Absolutely. And the sweat, the heat that comes off of your body is transitioning back into the steam, into the air. And that's why I always call it an immortal element. It never dies. It just transforms, and it's in everything. And I love that image of us breathing together, not just with other people, but breathing together with all of nature. That's just such a beautiful image, that we're feeding each other oxygen and water and life.
Yes. Yes.
It really resonates with that symbiotic relationship that we have to have with nature.
Very much so. And there's the beauty of reconnecting, because some of us have maybe not connected with the beauty that's all around us. Our industrial world kind of took us away from that, and now I find we're coming back to that. I've always loved outside, and have connected with it. And like I will step outside, and the tree frogs will sing as soon as I step outside. So I'm like, we can build this incredible relationship with all those beings that are right there with us. And right now, we're just finishing up this fall, we get mushrooms like you wouldn't believe on this island. There's mushroom pickers. They go out and they're, that mushroom is from pure moisture. It was created with that. And the little zyomes, or whatever they're called, it's really special to and I can feel it with you too, like how blessed we are to understand the beauty of water, and how blessed we are to have reverence for it. Because we ourselves are, as we age, we lose water. When we're first born, we have 80% water in our bodies, and if we drink enough, we can continue to keep that flowing through us. And I can tell if I've not drank enough water in a day, oh my gosh, my body feels it. Just to and to take the water. Dr. Emoto taught us to take our water and bless it. And you can change the frequency that quick with one blessing. So it's amazing to live, like, you know, you were saying you live by a river, I think. You know, just to feel that, to get out the ions and the shift in consciousness when we tune into it is, oh, it's awe-inspiring for me. I just delight in the beauty of it. So yeah.
And you hit the nail on the head. It's that gratitude for just the magnificence of it. It's the most powerful force in the world, but yet it's also the most soothing, the most calming. There is no life without water. And they talk, like you were talking about with the lake, scientists will look for water sources to find life, just like they do on Mars and on the other planets. That's how they're trying to determine if it ever had life, because they're looking for water.
For water. Wow.
It's such a gift. It really is. And one that unfortunately just overlooks so easily. But I mean, when you're by the ocean, and so many people are drawn to oceans and lakes and rivers because there's something about it. It calls to us. And I think that's because it's a part of our DNA. It's a part of our genes and our connection to spirit, that even if you don't know what it is you're feeling, you feel the pull to it. It feels like coming home to something. And knowing that we can influence its makeup, it's our responsibility to give back to water, which has given so much to us. It really is that symbiotic relationship. Instead of just taking from the magnificent, we're giving back as well.
Yes, we find that here on this island when we do our water blessings. It's so special to go to the water's edge. And there's one favorite place I love to do a blessing. It's a dock that goes out, maybe 400 feet out into the ocean. And we have an elder that comes with us, and he always goes right up and looks over. And the little fishies, there's so much life. And he revels in that. And he always shares, look at the life. Take a moment to look beyond, just go deep and see the beauty wherever we are. And the water, it's so incredible. After 6 years, and every month we do this, we have animals that will come when we go to the same spots. It's like they come to be with us. They are watching us. Animals are watching humans start to notice them again and to love them. And they're pure water too. They resonate with all we're doing. And so it is powerful. I actually had a really neat experience, Chris, when you were up in Alaska. Yes. And you were talking about just having come back from the huge icebergs.
Oh yeah.
And the way you described them, I've not been honored enough to feel that and see that yet. And I was just like, whoa. And you took me there.
It's surrounded by water. It's ice and snow. And we found this beautiful ice cave by a glacier. And you go, and it's maybe 100 feet into this mountain of snow. So you go in and you can see the ripples of the water on the side of the caves and the icicles that have come down and frozen. And it's magnificent, and you're surrounded by it. It resonates. It feels like it has a pulse when you're in there. Oh, it was just, there's something so brilliant about those places. And people avoid Alaska in winter, and I've gone to Iceland in winter too. But something about that snow and just, it was magnificent. It was a beautiful, beautiful place. Yes. And I did water blessings there too. There's a natural hot springs up in Shanna, which is a little north of Fairbanks. And it's this hot springs that comes down from the mountain, and people go there to heal. Wow. So I was doing qigong in the hot springs and blessing it while everybody was doing their thing. So you think about that water, and every molecule of water that it touches is taking that blessing, and it's just filtering into the animals that live there, into the people that come to heal. I even imagine when I'm in restaurants, like I'll see those pitchers of water and I'll just start blessing the pitchers of water that people are drinking. Like, hey,
Aw.
bless you.
I gotcha. And then, we can go even further. As you were doing that at the hot springs, the water was evaporating. So those blessings you gave to them could end up being in Tibet on the
Oh,
highest mountain, or wherever it goes. This is the beauty of what we're doing. It never ends. So there's the invitation to please join us in just blessing your water. Standing at the water's edge wherever you are and just listening to it. If it's a river, you can hear the trickling, or a stream, and just blessing it, and know deep in your heart that love is going everywhere. Everywhere. Oh my.
Yeah, that gave me chills.
Yeah.
And I told you I put out on Facebook for people to join in at this time to do the water blessing. But in truth, time is relative. It's not real. So anytime someone were to tune into this message and hear the blessing you're going to give is the right time for them to hear it.
Absolutely.
And their activations will join with ours in this just collaborative effort. So, if it's not exactly synchronized in 3D time, it is synchronized on a spiritual level.
Yeah.
Gives me chills. So do you want to tell us a little about what a water blessing, what it looks like and what it is we're going to do?
Yes. Well, for our water blessings here, we're outside always. We're always at a body of water somewhere, and we have an elder. He opens and I open. And then we have songs, and we share, like we're doing today. We just share love. We just exchange information and share love, and hold, imagine holding the world in our arms, or we have water. We make a beautiful altar wherever we are, and we put water there, and we bless it. And we always, at the end of every water blessing, we have a beautiful goblet, and we fill that with water, and then someone goes and pours that in the water wherever we are. And I always give everyone a crystal, and then they put that in the water, or take it home and put it in their well wherever they go. But for now, for this show, let's imagine doing little water blessings why don't we start with ourselves? Do you want to start with ourselves?
Sounds great.
Okay. And how I love to start with that is I love to just touch my heart. Touching my heart brings me back into this moment right now. And then I imagine feeling my heartbeat, and eventually you'll feel your own heartbeat. So just tune in and feel your own heartbeat. Take a few nice big breaths and be right here in this moment. Now imagine the water in our bodies. Imagine this beautiful heartbeat and the blood that is flowing through all of our muscles, all of our bones, every single organ. The waters in our body are bathing our brains, all down our spinal cord. Every beautiful organ in our body is being bathed with the highest frequency of water, because we're blessing our magnificent bodies right now. All the way out to our fingertips and to our toes. And just feel your heartbeat. And just love. The greatest gift we can give our world is to love ourselves. And this is a beautiful way of loving ourselves, is to just tap in and touch our hearts. And imagine the beauty of the water within us. Every single cell is bathed in water. And we'll just take a moment to just imagine that. Now we'll just come back to this moment and send this love that we've just gifted ourselves. Now let's send it out to each other. You may be at home and you have family with you. You may be at work, wherever you are driving. Just send it out. You can send it out to someone that's not well. You can send it out to your beloved, your children, friends, people in the hospital, at schools, around the world, different countries, different nations. Just send that water out. Send that blessing of water to love the waters within all of the humans that we know and that we don't know, our human kin. Feeling our own waters. And if you really tune in, you'll start to realize how relaxed you are. And the response of our bodies is, I get just little tingles and just little feelings inside of the vibration within my body rising because I'm loving it so deeply. Now let's take this love that we've spread out to our closest families or all around the world, to all humans. Whoever they are, we all are love. The core of who we are is pure love. So now let's take this love and let's send it out to our animals. My doggie over here is just having a good sleep right now. Cats, all of our beautiful animals we share our homes with. All of the animals that you live close to you, different parts of the world have different kinds of animals in there. Just love, just send love to the beauty of all the animals on this planet and the waters in their body. Just pure, pure divine love being poured into all the animal kingdom. And let's go into the oceans now and all of the beloved beings in the oceans, just sending them pure love, knowing that the love inside of you, the love inside of each of us as we tune into the beauty of ourselves is being felt by the largest whale to the tiniest plankton, to the beautiful tiny little fish that they're discovering at the darkest depths of the ocean with the new kind of equipment they have to get that far. They're feeling our love right now. Just trust that and know that. So let's just shut our eyes and feel all the animals of this whole world feeling your love. And I wonder where you went. What part of the world did you go to? You're welcome to share that on Chris's page if you want. And now let's go and imagine wherever you live, there'll be some sort of vegetation. You may live in a desert with just a little oasis somewhere. There's water somewhere, you know that. You may live where I live in a huge forest. Wherever you are, there'll be some sort of vegetation. Trees, tiny flowers, your vegetable gardens. Oh, it's so good to bless your vegetable gardens. Now let's just send this powerful love that we are and that we're so capable of having inside of us out to all the beautiful vegetation on this planet, all the tree beings, all the flowers, all the vegetables. Knowing that they are resonating, they're feeling our love, and they're responding. To the highest mountains, our love's flowing up to the highest mountains. And all around the world. So let's just take a moment and just tuck in to that thought and feel, imagine holding the world in your arms and infusing the whole world with our love. Knowing that every single heart of every single tree, every single human, every single animal is feeling something magical inside. They're feeling love, divine love, and they're responding. Seeds are being planted all around the world right now, no matter where we are and what we're living, how challenged our lives might be. We are sending our love out to all of those beautiful beings, knowing that one day, some way, somehow, they will feel this love and they will respond. For now, just planting the love, the seeds of love in every heart. Knowing that as we breathe, moisture leaves our breath with every breath. And that moisture goes out into the air, and eventually it connects with all the other moisture in the air from all that we've just shared, and it goes up. And it creates those beautiful clouds. And then a wind comes, and that wind takes those clouds to the other side of the country, and it rains. And that rain comes down, and it lands, this blessed water in our moisture, in our breath, lands somewhere. And it blesses that person it lands on. It blesses that tree. It blesses the earth. It blesses the ocean. That's how powerful water is. That's how powerful our prayers are. So let's just sit with that for another minute, and then we'll come back. So come on back. And that's an invitation to just imagine doing that whenever you feel like it, wherever you are. This can be done anywhere. We don't have to hold circles. We just can do this in our hearts and teach our children and share with each other.
That's beautiful. You have a quality of your voice that just wraps around people. Wow. Mm-hmm. Just incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been doing it for a long time. Yeah. We get invited to wells. We get invited to private lakes. There's some farms on the island. They're community farms. And I get invited to bless the waters. And so it's something I've done for a long time in many ways.
So what have you found when blessing the farms and wells? What kind of outcomes have you seen?
A lot of joy on the people that, the farms that invite us, a lot of joy. One friend of mine, dear friend of mine, had some challenges with her well, and she gathered about a dozen of us and asked me to come and facilitate. And just the joy that rose in each of us, and the joy that rose in her water, and just the tangibleness of it. Like, for example, in Vancouver, across the water from me, there's chlorine in the water, and it's very strong. And I will, with a strong intention and clarity, I will bless the glass of water, and instantly the chlorine will go away. So there's that knowing, and another thing Dr. Emoto taught us, and my friend on the well, for example, that she asked us to bless, she had written love in paint. She had written all these powerful words on her well tank, and her water cleaned up. She had to do a few extra things, but the frequency changed, and I feel it's like everything. If we're not feeling well, the most important thing is to know someone loves us, right? So, water is life. So water wants to be loved. We all want to be loved. And I guess that's what I feel most of all for the people, the farm people. They just resonate. They're purposefully doing something taking action in a loving way to create harmony with their gardens, with themselves, with their children who are eating this food that they're growing. So there's so much power in bringing that sort of love to, like, I bless my water. We have excellent water. I've got a 220-foot well. That's deep.
Yes,
And
it is.
yeah, it's really deep. And my water is exceptional. And I'm grateful to say that. And so it just, it's like everything. We want to be loved. We want to be revered. We want to be honored in such a way. It's just, like I will go out and I've got trees on the property. I had to take some trees down. There was too much darkness. I wasn't getting enough sunlight. And I went out into the forest between me and the road a ways away. And I touched every tree that I knew I had to take down. And I touched it and I loved it and I thanked it. And I thanked it for its beauty and its life. And I shared that I was going to have to take it down, that I needed the sunlight, and that I would honor it in such a way that it would bring us a berm. I made a berm up by the road because life lives in a berm. I wanted to make an area for the little beings to live in there, and I shared that it would make us warm, and I just shared all the things that I was going to honor this tree for its life. And I couldn't take anything down that year. I just didn't have it in me. But by the next year, they all had died on their own.
Huh.
I know.
How incredible.
How incredible. Because they were loved. I feel I just honored them and I thanked them for their service. Like, I cut down a tree in the little hollow down here, and we brought it up and I just thanked it. I said, "You are bringing so much joy into our home. Thank you so much." And it's just happy over there, So, so I guess that being invited out and doing those things, for me, it's just bringing awareness like we're bringing awareness. We would love people to see the infinite possibilities of loving water. And then, of course, to bring the children, whenever a child comes to my water blessing, that's really why we're doing all of this, right? Sorry, that's my dog, pardon me. That's why we're doing all of this. She's not feeling well. It's for the children, right? We're doing this for our children. So, when the families invite me to do things, those little ones are just, they're just mesmerized by the love and learning, they're learning about infinite possibilities. So yeah, that's how I'm received when I go and do those things. So.
And I got a message or a request from Spirit a few months back saying that the children that were coming to this planet and these recent generations haven't been feeling the love and connection because they're so connected to Spirit naturally. They didn't lose the same connection that have that amnesia that we get. But it's such a shock to their system to not feel that love all the time that they know they should be receiving, that infinite love. So they asked me to bless children as I saw them, to just offer them love. This is another way of doing that. You're offering your love to the waters that they're going to be drinking and the air they're going to be breathing in, to help acclimate these children that are really meant to do amazingly evolved things. You're offering them a way to feel that evolved connection to Spirit again. You're giving to them without ever having to see them or know them.
Yes.
They need that love and that connection.
Yes,
that's our natural state of being.
Yes, it sure is. And that's, that I will say where I live, I've never seen such conscious parenting on this island that I live on. And we were chatting before the show, and this is probably one of the most powerful eco garden communities that's in existence. It's so incredible here. So it's beautiful to see children raised in that way, and yet not all are. So just, to whenever we see children, like you say, just bless them, just love them. And they feel it. They feel it. Yeah, they walk, I'll walk and I can see children just staring at me because I am just loving them.
I love that. It gives me such a feeling of pride when a child singles me out. I'll be sitting eating dinner with my husband, and the children will just turn and stare at me. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, we know. I see you. You see me.
exactly.
They know. And it's such a wonderful gift to the planet that they're coming down in such great numbers. But it's very, very hard for them. And it's one of the reasons we have such high suicide rates and all the rest in the young people, because they're so confused by that lack of love.
Yes.
Um, but it's an illusion, and you see it on the news all the time. They're talking about climate change and global warming and all these things that are happening. We have the power to fix a lot of the pollution problems that we complain about, but
Right.
instead of throwing out the negative energy, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. No, it's love. It's if you change your word and don't complain about the waters being polluted or the global climate change, send the waters love, and that will permeate faster than the negativity and the fear will, and just have a much greater effect on everything.
On everything. And that is a huge key. And thank you for talking about that. I remember picking up a book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, when I was
Mhm.
about, oh, I don't know, maybe 30 years ago or so. And it changed my life. And I started really, really listening to every word and changing every word that I said. The concept was our brains are computers and it listens to everything. So to be love, to love this beautiful body and this beautiful brain.
Mhm.
And then I became an affirmation coach. I started coaching that to people. And then about, I believe about 8 years ago now, the Dalai Lama said, brain training is the answer to freedom.
Mm.
And brain training, I feel, is the answer to love. Because, you know, from the beginning of time, and we are seeing such chaos right now also that needs to be revealed so that we can heal it, because we are entering uh, some very powerful, powerful shifts on our planet.
Mm.
But to just love, just to super consciously, like I actually listen to everything I say now. I witness what I say. When I say something that is unkind to me, I and that maybe I'm in a room and I don't have it, I actually just say inside quick, Kim, we'll look at that later. There's a wound.
Mm.
So I'm loving myself in such to such a degree that I am honoring that the beauty of who we are and all life. And that's a big journey. It's taken me, I'm 63. um, and for the children, inside, deep inside, I believe we all have golden hearts,
Mm.
and every child, I pray, the love that you and I are doing today, the love that we'll do every day, the commitment we have to love this world will be so freeing.
Mm.
And we have we have this young girl, Greta, on the planet. She was critical mass. She was the last straw on the, she was the last straw on the huge pile of so many of us over the years wanting to make change, to bring in a new way of being. And blessings to critical mass, because that was the final little tip of the, and then it turned over. And so that's inspired the youth, incredibly so. And for those of us that are suffering, in a way, they're our greatest gift, because they make us love deeper.
Mm.
They make us stop and, what can I do? What have I done? How can I do something different? What is it in me? I love the Ho'oponopono.
Mm.
You
Oh,
know,
a prayer.
yeah, what have I done in me to create that in you? I'm
Mm.
sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I will literally sometimes go through a day and say that as a mantra all day.
Mm.
Just walk out and be that, and just keep loving and loving and loving, because we are here as a collective human race to heal. Finally, we're in that place where we are capable of doing that. And there's people like you and I who we're here to help that shift. And there's people that are super resistant, but they're the gift that what they're standing for at this point needs to be revealed, to be healed. So I just love them. I just love them with all my heart. I'm capable of that at this point in my life. And that's the gift of us all realizing in some way that we have that opportunity to, my dad, I think you might have heard this on shows, but my dad, I was really blessed to have a father that he didn't even realize how full of love he was, I don't believe. But at 18, he said, let's have smile days. And that meant that we went out into the world and we found somebody that was sad or grumpy or whatever they were showing up like. And we went out and made them smile. And a smile, watch yourself, feel yourself inside. When you smile, you'll actually, as you tune into the vibration and like a different sensory, you'll feel your body tingling. And if you're out in the community and you smile at someone and they smile back, especially if you can tell they haven't had a good day, oh my gosh, it's profound to bring that vibration in that person, to invite through that smile for that person to rise in love, to meet you, meet me here in this space. So there's for the youth and an invitation for us that are watching, because anyone watching this show is capable of what we're talking about. You're here because you're curious. I call it divine curiosity. You're here because you're curious and you want to bring love to the world. And we start with ourselves. This is where it starts. And there's always more, and I understand that. And I do that. I say, oh, there's a wound, Kim. Okay, we'll look at that later. All right, thank you, sweetheart. I'm kind to myself at this point. But that's important to remember, because still there's that dross, that some people would call it chaos, and so to hone our thoughts to just keep loving, because that, as we've talked about this whole show, love shifts everything. And water has shown us, Dr. Emoto has shown us that. If you just simply Google Dr. Emoto and Google, what does the frequency of love and hate show us? And the love is the most magnificent, crystalline, like a snowflake you can imagine. And the word hate in that water is just muck and mire. So there's the biggest gift he gave us, I feel, is to just love ourselves. Start here. So that's my hope for the little ones of the planet. And
also a wonderful New Year's resolution, and is to monitor your thoughts, not just about the world, but about yourself. If your thoughts, we know your thoughts change the makeup of water, and your body is 80% water. So be good to your thoughts or yourself. Think positive thoughts about yourself. And we're all human. We catch ourselves saying negative things all the time. And Jennifer Hill, another teacher on here that does a business show in the mornings, she says she likes to hit cancel. Whenever she catches herself saying something negative, she'll just like cancel it out.
Yeah.
And I also use the prayer, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, and thank you. And I'll do it to myself just repeatedly throughout the day to kind of cancel out all the just random insecurities and negativities that I think without meaning to, because I don't want to inject that negative energy into the water in my body, into the cells of my body. I want to inject the crystalline nature into my body.
Yes.
And when you judge other people, your thoughts are affecting the makeup of their body. So think positive thoughts. It's such a responsibility that we have for the health and welfare of the planet and each other. That what a wonderful New Year's resolution to be more conscious of your thoughts, because they do affect the very chemical of life.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to do that. Thank you.
That's a great New Year's resolution. As we are ticking down the clock for 2020, which is going to be a massive year. I feel it coming like it's going to be Christmas all year for me. Just the energy shifts that are coming are so profound that I find myself getting kind of giddy about what's coming.
Yeah.
So do you have any last, I know you don't have, this will be your last show before the new year. This will be my last show before the new year. Do you have any messages for the audience for the new year?
Oh, golly. I would just...
Put the pressure on you. I'm sorry, I kind of singled you out. I didn't warn you that one was coming. Say something.
No, that's all right. That's okay. I would just invite us all to just love ourselves more than we ever have, more than we're ever capable of, we've ever felt we're capable of. There are so many places that we can go now on our planet, to the libraries, to the bookstores, to find books, to find someone that you resonate with, that brings the message of love in a way that you respond to. I'd invite us all to do that. I'd invite us to really tune into the beauty of a network like this. This network brings so much wisdom, so much grace, and so much love to our world. I would invite us to go into divine trust. I'm going into divine trust and divine curiosity. Those are two gifts that I'm giving myself going into this new year. 2020, can you imagine? That's really cool. 1956, I was born, and I've seen so much, and I've seen so much growth, and all the songs I listened to back when I was a kid, they all talked about these days. They all talked. This is a prediction. And all faiths talk about these days of this world changing up the frequency of hate and embracing the frequency of love. So I would invite us all to just love deeper, to trust divinely, and to be curious about these days coming up, and to literally watch and witness everything we say and do in love. And yes, cancel. It's just as simple, because our brains are computers, and that cancel button, this computer has shown us cancel works. You can lose a lot of stuff in that button. So, and just to really feel your own beauty. Just because we're all magnificent. We are all magnificent in our own ways. So that would be my blessing for this beautiful year coming up. And yes, and what would yours be? What's yours?
The big blessing for this year, my biggest takeaway, is that we are divine creatures, and everything that science calls a mystery, and everything that spiritual people call faith, they say the same thing, and it's that we are divine creatures, that we are connected to each other in a way that ensures we are always loved and we are never alone. The world is absolutely magnificent, and if you open your eyes to it, the magic is real. And being alive is a gift. It really is.
It so is.
Kim, thank you so much for joining me today, and for the blessing. And I'm going to share the meditation of yours out, and just keep that energy flowing. I'd love to get as many people involved in that as possible. And we'll have to talk about doing a documentary on your island for one of your blessings, because that would be amazing.
Goodness. That would be amazing.
I'd love to do that.
Oh, you come on up, sweetheart. It would be awesome to have you here. That would be great.
Ken, thank you again. To the audience, thank you so much for joining us. Please continue to watch Awake TV. As Kim said, there's so much love and light and knowledge and wisdom on this network. Find someone that resonates with you and grow with them, grow as a group, grow as a collective, because we ascend together. So thank you so much. Happy New Year, everybody. Everybody be good. Stay out of trouble. Don't drink too much.
And love. Thank you.